I'm Claire, and for 10 years, my life has been a relentless echo of the same monotonous routine. Every morning erupted with a jarring buzz, shattering the silence. The rich scent of coffee enveloped the kitchen, a warm embrace in the midst of turmoil. Daniel, my husband, darts around, eyes flicking to his phone, the burden of the day ahead dragging him toward his job in downtown Santiago. The doorbell rang, slicing through the silence, a chilling reminder of his absence that enveloped me in loneliness. Daniel is the epitome of goodness, a steadfast presence I can rely on. He understands me without fail, always committed and responsible. Yet there's an elusive part of him, distant and unapproachable, igniting a deep yearning for warmth and connection. His heart beats only for his work, leaving no space for anything more. In those fleeting moments, our words hover in silence, bound by necessity, while the unspoken hangs heavy in the air between us. We occupy the same space, yet the bond of partnership feels lost in the shadows. For years I told myself this was it, the core of marriage, but deep down, an aching invisibility haunted me. In the chaos surrounding us, Rocky, our cherished boxer, remains, a silent guardian, though he truly belongs to her. We brought him home as a tiny puppy, hoping he would guard us. But to me, Rocky was more than that. He was a cherished soul, a being to love and nurture. I see it clearly now. I never really tried to understand him. He was a soft spirit, a stillness that enveloped our home in peace. He sought refuge in the garden, soaking in the sun's embrace, or nestled in his bed, drifting into a deep, tranquil sleep. Rocky and I barely spoke. His heart raced with joy as Daniel burst through the door, eager to greet him. But my experience was a chilling shadow of that moment. He seemed to grasp that in my world, he was just a shadow, not fully alive, and so the days faded one after another. The house was pristine, dinner set with care, but inside me, a haunting silence echoed, heavy on my heart. It's incredible how a simple dog could upend everything I thought I knew. A tiny creature unleashed a transformation I never saw coming. Yet, I stood on the edge of understanding that Rocky was destined to be so much more than a mere pet. He was the only one who truly saw me. It was a morning like any other, but a haunting beauty lingered in its simplicity. Daniel was gone, just like every other morning. I stood in the kitchen, staring at my cold coffee, drowning in my thoughts. The silence wrapped around me, a suffocating weight that crushed any flicker of solace. The wind's soft whispers wrapped around me, a warm embrace against the chilling solitude of my home. An overwhelming feeling of existence consumed me. Rocky stood at the kitchen door, his eyes locked onto mine, radiating a calm I hadn't felt in ages. A heavy stillness hung in the air. He stood frozen, silence enveloping him. He stood there, eyes locked on mine, as if he understood the emotions I couldn't express. In that brief instant I wanted to look away, but his gaze was so profound it stopped me in my tracks. Silence enveloped me, heart pounding, burdened by the unknown as I sought to decode his every move. Did he really grasp the depths of my feelings? Laughter erupted from my core, a joyful shake of my head mirroring the bliss inside. He's only a dog, Claire. Let's not be ridiculous. In a shocking twist, Rocky veered off in a direction no one saw coming. He stood slowly, each step heavy with purpose, and gently laid his head against my leg. I stood still, paralyzed, as doubt enveloped me, suffocating my next move. In that instant, I understood I had never felt a connection like this with him before. My hand grazed his head, and a surge of warmth enveloped me, a quiet promise that I was not alone here. That simple gesture carried a weighty significance, echoing within me in that brief instant. After that day, I became painfully aware of the details I once overlooked, slipping through my fingers like whispers in the wind. Every time I sank into the familiar embrace of the sofa, Rocky settled just a few steps away, his presence a silent testament to our unspoken bond in those still moments. On those hard days when my tears threatened to overflow, he was always there, quietly waiting by my door. He was a quiet anchor, sensing the burden of my heart, ready to wait, bringing comfort through his mere presence. It was a dreamlike moment, the universe aligning to catch me off guard. He surprised me, pouring out his heart, a sharp contrast to Daniel, who never revealed such depth. Rocky was a constant, a force that wrapped around me, untainted by expectations, a bond that struck a profound chord in my very being. He saw me deep down as I truly am, In a world where I was often invisible, he saw me for who I was. A question haunted me, lurking in the shadows, waiting for the courage I never found to face it. Could a dog give me what my husband has long denied? What would that mean for me? A crushing knot gripped my chest, an inescapable surge of emotion I couldn't escape. For ages I buried my deepest yearnings, until Rocky softly revealed the truth I dared not face. That morning with Rocky haunted me, a whirlwind of feelings I couldn't escape. A warmth wrapped around me, real and comforting, but beneath it lurked a fear that clawed at my mind. Just a dog, right? I struggled to dismiss my feelings as exaggerated, battling the notion that it was unreasonable to feel so deeply. Every time Rocky looked at me or approached with that calm presence, it was as if a piece of me broke and healed all at once. It consumed me, leaving a bitter sting of foolishness for investing so much in his every move. What was happening inside me? I tried to redirect my focus just like I always had before. As I scrubbed the dishes and tidied the house, an overwhelming silence wrapped around me, its heaviness nearly crushing. The truth resided not only in the house's stillness, but in the deep silence that consumed my existence. In my relationship with Daniel, a haunting emptiness lingered, as if we were caught in a relentless cycle. I cooked, he buried himself in work, and when we finally sat together, it felt like an ocean lay between us. I had to uncover the why behind it all. He frequently pointed out that Daniel is overwhelmed, weighed down by endless duties. What about my own emotions and desires? Was I not important in your life? When did we begin to lose each other like this? Fear crashed over me, a reminder of my ignorance. Then came Rocky, a light in the chaos. In a heartbeat, that dog filled a void I had long ached to close. Yet, beneath the surface, I wrestled with accepting the truth of it all. I couldn't face it. To admit it would mean confronting the chaos lurking deep inside me. The truth crushed my heart, a burden I could no longer ignore. I sought distractions, desperate to drown out the silence with noise. I fought to banish those thoughts, yearning for a moment of inner peace. The fear clung on, an unyielding shadow haunting my thoughts. What if it really were true? What if my joy was bound so tightly to something Daniel couldn't give? But Rocky did. It's just a dog. He repeated those words, but deep down he knew it was much more complicated. Rocky was never the problem. He mirrored the emptiness I had yet to confront within myself. One afternoon I sat on the couch staring out the window, lost in thought. My mind wandered, engulfed in a fog of thoughts and emotions, blurring the reality around me. That day mirrored countless others, yet something simmered beneath the surface. Daniel's absence left the house hauntingly silent, my thoughts a tempest of fears I dared not face. In that instant I felt an overwhelming surge of emotion. Rocky sank into the couch, a fleeting moment of peace enveloping us, a brief refuge amid the chaos. He was blindsided, a break from routine that resonated with doubt. He curled up next to me, his head on my leg, a silent comfort enveloping us, tender and deeply felt. I stood still, stunned by the sudden warmth that enveloped me. In that moment everything changed. A deep truth surged within me. In that moment he transformed from mere pet to something profoundly significant. I felt a presence that lifted me up. I stroked his head, and in that fleeting moment, he radiated a calm that echoed my own, deep and soothing. A brief escape, a lightening of the weight inside me, if only for an instant. In that instant warmth wrapped around me, and for the first time in ages, I felt a bond that lifted the heavy burden of loneliness. Rocky stood still, words trapped inside him, longing unspoken and dreams hidden deep. He stood before me, silent yet powerful, offering a gift I never knew I craved. Within our company, a deep understanding resonates. A warmth wrapped around me, a feeling I thought I'd lost forever. And in that instant I was consumed by thought. How is it that a dog can awaken such deep feelings in me? Why is peace with Daniel so hard to grasp? The question haunted me, igniting a fire that illuminated everything I had ignored. In that brief moment of relief Rocky provided, doubt crept in. Was he truly the only one holding the answers I desperately needed? The most crucial question wasn't about Rocky. It was about my own path and realization. That afternoon in the armchair changed everything. A profound change stirred inside me, etching a lasting impression on my soul. Years passed and a fierce yearning ignited within me, demanding change, a desperate need to break free from the chains of a stifling routine. In a fleeting moment of stillness, I decided to embark on this journey with Rocky. The next day I took his leash, a rush of memories flooding in, and guided him through the park we both knew so well. Felt almost trivial. He walked beside me, his nose twitching with every scent, while I drifted in silent thought. As time slipped away, a deep realization began to dawn on me. Rocky reveled in the walk, but it was the warmth of my presence that truly ignited his joy. Every time I looked at him, he would meet my eyes, searching for a silent promise that all was well inside. With each passing day, those walks became my most treasured moments. It was our secret haven, a refuge just for us. I didn't need to voice my feelings or justify my silence. Rocky was there, a silent force hanging in the charged atmosphere. At first, I spoke to him with a strange mix of hesitation and doubt, questioning my sanity for talking to a dog. Those conversations became my lifeline, a powerful balm for my soul. Today, Rocky, I discovered a spark of connection that eased my loneliness, if only for a moment. One afternoon, under the sun's warm embrace, I bared my soul to him. In that instant, his eyes revealed everything, a profound connection that went beyond mere words. Slowly, these fleeting moments ignited a long-buried emotion within me, unfiltered bliss. I began to notice the hidden details that had eluded me, haunting the edges of my mind. Breath held tight, the air bites, leaves murmur hidden truths of the wild. The sun's touch ignites my skin, a fierce reminder of life's fleeting pleasures. The smallest moments reignited the flicker of my tired spirit. Returning home, I saw Daniel and felt an intense wave of change wash over me. When Rocky wrapped me in his attention and warmth, I felt the stark contrast of Daniel's unchanging presence, a shadow lingering in my life. He was distant, absorbed in the glow of his phone or the flickering TV, as if everything else had vanished. The ache of this contrast pierced my heart, and I could no longer look away. Rocky had become something extraordinary, transcending the role of a mere pet. He was my everything, a confidant I trusted with my soul, my sanctuary in a chaotic world. Though I couldn't fully understand, I sensed those walks meant more than just fulfilling his needs. They were destined to be mine. As the air thickened in their home, Daniel felt the deep, unsettling changes creeping in. In the stillness of the night, he paused, fork resting on the plate, his eyes locking onto mine. "What compels you to share so many moments outdoors with your dog?" His voice hung heavy, stirring a storm of curiosity and irritation within me, leaving me at a loss for words amidst the tension that crackled between us. My eyes shot up, stunned by the sudden question. His interest in my pursuits was a rare flicker in the dark. "Walking beside him brings a warmth that wraps around me," I said, striving to keep my tone carefree. Yet, beneath the surface, I felt an unsettling truth hidden in his question. Each day, the burden of unvoiced emotions and lingering disputes grew heavier. Daniel began to voice his thoughts, each word heavy, hanging in the silence. "Rocky has your attention, and I'm left in the shadows. He's everything to me, Claire. He's our light, our joy, a heartbeat in our lives. It's impossible to view him as anything but extraordinary. Your fixation on him is utterly perplexing." His words cut deep, a sting that echoed within me. In that anguish, clarity emerged, a truth I had long evaded. Daniel and I stood on opposite sides of an abyss, deeper than ever before, and it was evident that Rocky was not the reason for this rift. Amidst the tension, I sought refuge in my walks, treasuring the silent moments with Rocky. With each passing day, an undeniable strength stirred within me, deepening with every heartbeat. It wasn't just Rocky who warmed my heart. It was the very essence of those moments that resonated deeply. This is my moment, a breath of freedom, shedding the heavy chains of confinement. An afternoon etched in my mind, weighty and tumultuous. Before Daniel left for work, tension crackled between us, a disagreement hanging heavy in the air. An overwhelming void engulfed me, his words draining every last bit of my strength. Rocky looked at me, his calm presence saying everything. "Don't worry, I'm here." Taking him to the park, the routine felt familiar. But as he raced through the fallen leaves, an overwhelming surge of emotion hit me, a feeling long forgotten. Relief floods through me, wrapping my soul in a tender hold. The world's burden fades, replaced by a profound calm that echoes in my very being. In that instant, relief surged through me like a tidal wave. I realized I wasn't broken beyond hope. Even the smallest sparks of joy could light my way forward. Rocky was my rock, my steadfast anchor in a tumultuous world. Every slight movement of his, from the soft flick of his tail to the way he nestled close, pierced through the heaviness of the day, revealing a flicker of hope and value that lingered in the air. That night crushed my heart. Daniel and I barely spoke all day. When I finally reached out, he just waved me off, lost in his phone's light, deepening my loneliness. I stepped inside, a weight pressing down on my heart. Loneliness gnawed at my heart, a familiar ache that felt unbearable. Perched on the bed's edge, emotion surged within me, tears streaming down my cheeks. A profound ache lingered, quietly haunting the shadows of my heart. A deep void wrapped around me, making me feel untethered and alone, a chilling echo of everything that's missing. His footsteps echoed softly, igniting a fire deep inside me. With a gentle push, Rocky opened the door, stepping forward with fierce trust, moving closer to me. He curled at my feet, looking up with eyes that held an unfathomable understanding, as if he were from another realm. In my silence, he caught the weight of the words we never said. He stood up, moving to bed, a rare act, one that typically needed a gentle push or a soft plea. That tiny act ignited a profound feeling inside me. I held him tightly, tears flowing freely, my heart laid bare. As I touched him, gratitude surged within me, mingling with a profound ache that left me adrift, uncertain of how to face my feelings. Rocky stood in a suffocating silence, his words imprisoned, yearning to break free. He couldn't promise me that everything would be fine, but the depth of his presence said it all. In that brief instant, I grasped the profound urgency of my longing for this bond. His presence was a lifeline, a fierce strength in my battle to endure. In his embrace I lingered, a thought haunting me relentlessly. Why does my bond with him pulse with a depth that my connection with Daniel lacks? A question that gripped my heart with terror. A flash of insight pierced through, echoing in the depths of my soul. The truth loomed, heavy and undeniable, demanding my recognition. What Rocky offered me was beyond simple gestures. It was everything I had longed for, a desire that consumed me for years. A deep warmth surrounds us, a reminder of the love we seek and the care that feeds our souls. In that dim room, a deep truth crashed over me, shattering a long-buried part of my soul. The whispers of my heart grew too loud to ignore, demanding I confront its truth. Daniel wasn't the problem, and Rocky had no solution. The absence crushed my heart, a void that lingered, forcing me to confront its haunting significance. The days that followed and that night were charged with a deep, unsettling change. A spark ignited, lighting up the shadows of my soul. In that instant I wrestled with a deep emotion, fierce yet surrendering. A powerful force surged within me, raw and unyielding. One afternoon as I stirred dinner, my hands worked independently, while my mind wandered, lost in deep reflection. In the quiet of my thoughts, I am struck by how Rocky reignited a spark in my life that I thought had vanished for good. To feel the raw power of being truly seen, genuinely heard and profoundly loved. It's not in the words or grand gestures, but in the raw, genuine presence we share. In the quiet of that kitchen, I faced a truth I had long avoided, a realization that had haunted my heart for years. My marriage has shattered completely. Daniel had his strengths, but he never became the person I desperately needed. His absence left a deep void in me, one I struggled to understand for a long time. A piece of my soul felt lost, silently shaping my heart and mind, unseen yet powerful. In that piercing moment of clarity from Rocky, I was powerless to look away. Rocky revealed the raw power of love without limits. In his presence I discover a profound peace, a release from judgment, and an exhilarating sense of freedom. He stands beside me, presenting a gift I thought was beyond my reach. His essence, his warmth, his heart. As I faced this reality, a profound ache took root inside me, a painful recognition of how far Daniel was from giving me the same in return. I could no longer ignore him. This void was not Rocky's creation, nor could it be filled with calm walks or peaceful times. A deep issue stirred within me, a crack that had silently widened over the years, now exposed, impossible to hide behind justifications. Leaning against the doorframe, I watched Daniel in the kitchen, a heartbeat caught in stillness. Sorrow crashed over me, a brutal reminder of our lost connection and all we once had. Facing this truth ignited a fierce urgency within me, revealing the need for a complete upheaval of my life. Deep inside, the moment bore down on me a stark truth. This was a turning point. I had to seize it now, or it would vanish into the void. I could no longer ignore my aching desire for love, for connection, for that electrifying spark of life again. After what seemed like forever, I summoned the strength to face the reality of my life. In stillness, I discovered a deep truth that Rocky had imparted to me. True love stands strong, unwavering, and calm. It avoids doubt and never searches for satisfaction where it doesn't belong. True love is raw, unfiltered, and undeniably real. That was the core of my dreams, the vision I cherished deeply for my life. In the days that followed, a deep change began to surge within me. As I faced the truth of my marriage and my hidden yearnings, a deep clarity surged within me, something I had long sought. A wave of understanding crashed over me for the first time. This was bigger than Daniel alone. I discovered the truth. The struggle was within me, a piece of myself I had lost along the way, a version I once held dear but abandoned. In my relentless pursuit of order, I sacrificed countless hours, striving to command every detail, to mold the house into perfection, to fulfill every expectation thrust upon me. A haunting sense of loss grips me. Something vital has slipped away. My joy is profound, my emotions surge, my desires ache. Rocky shared a secret with me, a revelation that pierced through the silence, unlike anything I had ever known. One morning under the endless blue, I stopped and stared at him. He turned to me, ears alert, eyes glowing with deep calm. I knelt, heart racing. Thanks, Rocky. Your support is everything to me. Your support is everything. I'm profoundly thankful for your faith in me during my darkest times, reminding me that I can still feel deeply. I see the potential for change burning inside me. In that brief instant, a deep understanding surged within me, urging me to welcome transformation and pursue a new direction. It had gone beyond the simple question of whether Daniel and I could save our marriage. A deep question consumed me. Can I really rescue myself? A fire ignited inside me, a yearning for something real. I could no longer ignore the desperate calls of my heart. He was my anchor in the storm, cutting through the haze, revealing the way back to who I really am. Watching him leap through the scattered leaves, a deep truth struck me hard. This was the path I had to choose. In my search for wholeness, I wondered if it would be with Daniel or alone. Have you ever felt the raw intensity of emotion that consumes me? Have you found unexpected comfort in someone or something just like Rocky? Your story in the comments would mean the world to me. If this video touched you, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay connected. Don't let more poignant tales slip away from you. Your support moves me deeply, fueling my passion to create content that connects with you. Talking to Daniel was like weathering a tempest, every word laden with my deepest feelings. One evening after our meal, I stood up and beckoned him to join me for a talk. At first, it seemed he brushed me aside, my words falling into silence, insignificant to him. He was adrift in his thoughts, as he frequently found himself. This time he was resolute, forcing the conversation, ensuring I couldn't escape. "Oh, Daniel." I spoke to him, my voice trembling with raw emotion. "We need to talk. The burden of my situation crushes me. This is too much to endure any longer." In this moment, solitude wraps around me, a heavy weight on my heart. My once steadfast beliefs are fading, and doubt creeps in, consuming me. He looked up, a flash of anxiety crossing his face. "Please help me grasp your meaning. Where did it all begin?" His voice trembled, a fragile mix of disbelief and irritation, hanging heavily in the silence. I bared my soul to him, revealing my thoughts with raw honesty, embracing the truth and refusing to point fingers. A fleeting moment where truth collided with empathy. I bared my soul, revealing the profound void our separation had carved within me. Rocky opened my eyes to the heavy truth I had been blind to. His response stunned me, forcing me to confront the weight of my own hopes. "Is the dog's presence the cause of this?" He unleashed a wave of frustration. "Are you really saying that a creature brings you more happiness than I ever could?" In that brief instant, I felt a deep urge to pull back, to allow the words to hang, unspoken and unresolved. I discovered the strength to endure, to move ahead even under the heavy burden of doubt. In that instant, the weight of our exchange hit me hard. even if he remained oblivious to my meaning. That moment struck deep, echoing between us and within my very soul. It's never been about Rocky, Daniel. This time I answered with fierce conviction, ignited by the deep understanding he unveiled. We must find a way to grasp what has eluded us, if it still lingers in some shadow of existence. But if we stay still, nothing will ever change. Daniel sat in silence, the air thick with unspoken words, trapped in a stillness he couldn't escape. The reply was heavy, leaving hope hanging by a thread. In that instant his silence roared, unveiling a profound depth of thought and emotion that pierced through me. It was all I needed, a silent bond between us, a realm where words held no power. In that instant Rocky was my unwavering anchor, holding me steady in the storm. That night, after our deep talk, I found him as always waiting for me by the bed. His gentle touch ignited a profound realization within me. He was on the brink of a daunting journey. In that instant hope ignited within me, a deep knowing that I had the strength to confront whatever awaited. Every step reveals a world of possibilities, urging you to seize the path that lies before you. In the days that followed our talk, nothing spectacular happened, but a profound change stirred deep within me. Daniel and I ventured into deeper conversations, treading carefully, as if we were slowly immersing ourselves in the once familiar waters of a relationship we had lost our way in. In the heavy silence and aching distance, small gestures of hope flickered, but an undeniable change stirred within me. After what seemed like forever, Daniel felt a profound change stir inside him. He understood that my joy was now free from his control. Rocky revealed a truth I never knew I needed. My fate lies entirely in my grasp. Rocky was my unwavering support, my lifeline when doubt loomed large. His piercing gaze and calm presence struck deep, revealing the true value of what I had found. The courage to dive deep and fully accept myself. I started to seize moments that had always seemed unattainable. I immersed myself in self-care, seeking refuge in the words of books and the soothing cadence of my steps. Life holds depths beyond the simple walks with Rocky.